The scripture this morning is from Isaiah 35, verses 1 through 10, CED. The vision of joy offered in Isaiah is one in which all things of heaven and nature, plant, animal, human, are set free in the reign of God. Isaiah 35, 1 through 10. The desert and the dry land will be glad. The wilderness will rejoice and blossom like the crocus. They will burst into bloom and rejoice with joy and singing. They will receive the glory of Lebanon, the splendor of Carmel and Sharon. They will see the Lord's glory, the splendor of our God. Strengthen the weak hands and support the unsteady knees. Say to those who are panicking, be strong, don't fear. Strengthen the weak hands and support the unsteady knees. Be strong and don't fear. Here's your God, coming with vengeance, with divine retribution. God will come to save you. Then the eyes of those who cannot see will be opened. The ears of those who cannot hear will be cleared. Those who cannot move will leap like deer, and the tongue of those who cannot make a sound will sing. Waters will spring up in the desert, and streams in the wilderness. The burning sand will become a pool, and the thirsty ground fountains of water. The jackals habited a pasture. Grass will become reeds and rushes. A highway will be there. It will be called the Holy Way. The unclean won't travel on it, but it will be for those walking on that way. Even fools won't get lost on it. No lion will be there, and no predator will go up on it. None of these will be there. Only the redeemed will walk on it. The Lord's ransomed ones will return and enter Zion with singing, and with everlasting joy upon their heads. Happiness and joy will overwhelm them. Grief and groaning will flee away. This is the word of the Lord God for the people of God. Thanks be to God.
Our theme today is Christmas joy around the world. This year marks the 300th anniversary of the beloved Christmas song, Joy to the World. The words of that hymn are by English writer Isaac Watts. It's based on Psalm chapter 98, chapter 96, verses 11 through 12, and Genesis chapter 3, verses 17 and 18. Musically, the first four notes of Joy to the World are the same as the first four notes of Lift Up Your Heads from Handel's Messiah. The tune usually used today is from an 1848 edition by Lowell Mason for the classic hymn book, The National Psalmist. Today, our choir shares the joy that's felt around the world through songs that have origins from around the world. Let's make our first stop in Greece. When Morning Dawns incorporates text from the ancient Greek hymn, The King Shall Come When Morning Dawns. In Greece, they say Kala Christougena. As Greece is a maritime country, Greeks traditionally decorate boats for Christmas. This custom survives today in seaside towns and islands where people decorate Christmas boats in the central square. Mornings, on the days before Christmas and New Year, children in groups go from one house to another, singing carols. While they're singing, children usually hold up metal triangles and drums. The Greek Orthodox Church celebrates Epiphany on January 6th with the Blessing of the Water celebration. Young men dive into very cold lakes, rivers, or the sea to to celebrate Jesus' baptism. Epiphany celebrations include blessings of the boats, music, dancing, and lots of food. Our next stop will be Ukraine. Christmas in Ukraine is celebrated on January 7th because, like many Eastern European countries, the main church in Ukraine is the Orthodox Church. They use the old Julian calendar for their church festivals. The main Christmas meal, Sviata Večeria, is eaten on Christmas Eve. The meal has 12 dishes, which represent Jesus' 12 disciples. The main dish is often kucha, a type of sweet porridge made of wheat. Other traditional Ukrainian foods include borscht, pierogi, and kolak. The meal can't be started until the first star is seen. The star represents the journey of the wise men to find Jesus. After the meal, people love to sing carols. The carol Shedrick is where the popular Carol of the Bells comes from. Let's now travel to France, where they greet each other with Joyeux Noël. The celebration of the birth of Christ begins with a midnight mass. After the service, people go back to their homes and have their meal, réveillon, roast turkey or goose, with chestnuts, oysters, foie gras, venison, and cheeses. And for dessert, a chocolate sponge cake called bouche de Noël. Jenny says she knows firsthand how delicious that dessert is. Il est né le divin enfant, translated as, he is born the divine child. It's a traditional French Christmas carol, which was published for the first time in 1862 by Art Rochon. The text of the carol details the birth of Jesus and the wait of 4,000 years for the event as told by the prophets. It both observes the humility of God's birth in a stable and calls on the kings of the Orient to attend the child. The text of the carol has been translated into English numerous times. Now let's travel to England. Most families there have a Christmas tree, maybe two in their homes. Decorating the tree is a family occasion popularized by Prince Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria. There are some customs that were started in the United Kingdom, such as wassailing and Boxing Day. Their Christmas foods aren't too much different from ours, but one vegetable does wrinkle the noses of many: Brussels sprouts. And of course we associate figgy pudding with United Kingdom traditions. Many British churches have carols by candlelight for their services. Past 3 o'clock is a Christmas carol, loosely based on the traditional cry of the city night watchmen. They were also known as waits in the late Middle Ages. They patrolled the streets to keep people safe from the riffraff that might hang out late at night. In the 15th and 16th centuries, waits developed into musicians who paraded the streets at Christmas time. Past 3 o'clock.
The street of love,
As we travel around the world, we must make a stop in Africa. There are many different countries in Africa, so Jenny picked Mali, and that's where her son served in the Peace Corps. Mali is a mainly Muslim country, but Christmas is an official public holiday. Christians in Mali celebrate in their churches, beginning on Christmas Eve with an all-night service. People wear traditional, colorful clothes, and there's a lot of drumming and dancing. After the service, families go back to their homes for a meal of okra soup, porridge and meats, rice, and a yam paste called fufu. There's often a baptism on the day after Christmas, also known as Boxing Day, where Christians make a public statement that they follow Jesus. Many of the women will go around to different courtyards to greet people and sing and dance. The church choir does the same. Alleluia. Are you tired yet from all of our traveling? Some of the choir might be. As you've heard through the narration and music, there are many ways in which Christmas is celebrated around the world. Traditions slightly vary, but all have a similar theme: family, food, love, and celebrating the long-awaited coming of the Christ child. Our traditions were brought over from other countries, and each of our families have passed them down through the years in various ways. One form of American music is spirituals. It's a genre of songs that originated in the United States, created by African Americans. They were originally an oral tradition that imported Christian values while also describing the hardships of slavery. Great Joy A Comin is based on Matthew chapter 1, verse 18, Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 20, and Acts chapter 4, verse 20. Let's see if you agree that this is an amazing anthem filled with gospel joy. The choir wishes all of our Hubbard family a Merry Christmas filled with love and joy. Great joy is coming.
Come, ye people.
Joy